All right, guys, welcome in this Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 MMAOB Daily Podcast. I am your host, as always, Adam Martin, and I'm joined by my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. Tuesday edition of the podcast, Marcel. Appreciate you guys being patient. Originally, we planned it to do Sunday night, and then I just honestly wasn't feeling it at all. And same with yesterday. I've been under the weather, so I mean, even today I wasn't feeling the best. But I did want to get out. I didn't want to not do it. We had to do the recap, right? But I've been pretty much in bed for 3 days, Marcel. It's been shitty. Anyways, we have a lot to talk about today. UFC 306, Dana Contender Series. A lot to talk about. Marcel, how are you, man? Nice haircut to you. Looking good. Looking sharp.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, dude. I hope you feel better.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm like, maybe there's a lot of sticky stuff in your bed, but I don't know. But I'm just kidding. I hope you feel better.
For 3 days. What do you think I've been doing?
Yeah, I don't want to know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, glad we could do the podcast. And
yeah. So we'll like I said, we'll recap UFC 306, which we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. Contender Series from last week. We'll preview this Contender Series and Bellator, and then I think Marcel will do a short fight announcement, just because you do have a bunch from what I saw, right?
Yeah, but keep it a little bit short because I mean, Contender Series is starting in 2
hours.
I know.
Or
3 hours. So
we got 3, but we're not going to go that long. We're going to go for the next, probably less than 2, I would say. We'll do this one for an hour-ish. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get some comments here. We got Anakin. We got Joe. Thanks, Joe. Anakin. Yeah, I know. I like Marcel's haircut. Everyone's just complimenting. Dude, we have a bunch of guys that like other dudes in the chat, which is hilarious.
I'm like, next time we are starting the podcast, I'm gonna use the song "I Am Too Sexy for My Shirt." You know? So,
no, it's funny, but yeah, no, it's good to have all you guys in the chat. Obviously, we'll get more of the comments. Marcus, what's up? Marcus had a big bet on Merab, which won.
Congrats, Marcus.
Spear was unreal. Oh, you went. That's sick. 10 fights. Mitch Hale, super nice guy. He's done something like international fight, doesn't end up in fear. Oh, they're going back for sure. I mean, I don't believe Dana at all. He just doesn't want to give away his cards. You know, he's a card player, right? So, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. And I threw the link in the chat. I'm glad you got to see it. So that's good. Thanks, Antoine. I appreciate it, man. Literally everyone likes your haircut. That's good, man. I know.
I agree with Zach. I agree with you, dude.
Oh my god.
That's why I take a sip of my.
There you go.
Especially for Zach.
There you go. All right. What the heck? Okay, there we go. That works. All right. So I think we should just get into it. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to talk about 306. I mean, I know a lot of you guys already did recap shows with this, but it's kind of still new for us, Marcel, because we haven't had a chance to talk about it at all. So there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, a lot to unpack. We'll go through every fight. We'll talk about just the spectacle of it all, which I think is what Dana was kind of selling the show. Because let's talk about the card itself as a whole, Marcel. How about that? We'll just our thoughts. And before it, I'm pretty sure you said 7.5, right? You said that I think last week heading into the card. After the card, is that you feel the same way? You feel worse? You feel better? What do you...
I keep it around that.
Yeah,
I think.
Same here. I agree. I think it had the potential to be something even better, but. Mm-hmm. And I'm not blaming, by the way, Merab and Valentina, because I think that they fought smart. And the thing with MMA is, right, obviously these fights that are on the feet. You got these Marcel at the third round, Mali and Merab. I thought that was kind of a clear Merab round, and you had 2 judges giving it to Sean, and a lot of people saying, well, it did more damage, right? Even though Merab had all that control, all the wrestling. It's hard to say, right? So that's why Merab was wrestling. So that's why Valentina didn't want to get robbed again. You know what I mean? If you're on top, the odds of the other judge giving the 10-8 to Alexa are very slim. So I don't blame the fighters necessarily, Marcel, but at the same time, they weren't the most exciting fights. And I kind of feel like they really sucked the win out of the rest of the card because, dude, we had serious high point after the Ribovitz and Zellhuber fight, which was amazing. And I'll also give credit to the UFC, Marcel, and I was shitting on this decision. Rodriguez and Osborne, no one's really talking about this fight. That fight was sick, too. That was a great fight. So you had 2 amazing fights, and then Lopez and Ortega was okay. I guess the first round was good, but the last 2 fights made me tired. I felt so tired, bro, at the end of the card. I'm sure you felt the same way. Overall, I think the card, yeah, about where you'd say. I wanted rated higher because I thought the visuals and stuff were so cool. But I think, we talked about getting into it, the fights were good, but not amazing. And that's kind of how I feel about them as a whole, although there were some good fights. Like someone mentioned, Go say what's up, man. Shires and Van was a great fight. But we'll get through all the fights. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And I don't know if you feel the same way or.
I mean, during the card, it was like for me, I really was like, I don't really give a shit about all the other stuff around it. It doesn't impress me at all, and it was good. Listen, it looked nice, but for me, I think you have to be at the Sphere to really get that feeling. I think for me, it was just like, yeah, cool, a clip.
I thought it was pretty cool. Personally, I thought it translated pretty good on TV, but
I mean, it was nothing that I was like, oh wow, this is like something next level. I understand that people were there that thought that way, and probably it was that way. I'm not gonna take anything away from that. For me, it's like, it didn't do anything different than it did when you have a regular pay-per-view or an Apex event. To be really honest, in my opinion, and it was like, and the card went really long, dude. I mean,
it was 4 hours.
It was 8:30 over here when it was over, and I worked till 10 a.m. and then I went to sleep. So it was like super long, and I wasn't bored or whatever, But for me, it's like, can speed a little bit up, and I understand for many people they think it's amazing, but at the same time, you guys have to also think about it. You guys are in the US or at North America. I'm in the Netherlands. We're watching this main card start from 4 a.m. So for me, it's not like that I feel like I have to watch something at 4 a.m. that I wanted to see complete movie clips into the thing. I understand people like it, but for me, it's not necessary. But I don't mind if they do it again. I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, I think they should do it again. But yeah, I mean, like I guess I have more positive thoughts about the actual Sphere thing than you. But again, the fights for me, there were some good fights, but the last two fights kind of just made it a long night. I did the stream again with those guys at Sports Interaction. It was cool. But like as soon as you start, my guy Sean McCormick, who's the producer there, he was just like, "Yo, this is gonna be a long night, guys." And I was like, "I'll be done at 1 o'clock," and ended at 2. So he was right. It was even. I think it was even past 2. Like I think they went past the block. Yeah, I think they do by 4 hours, but I think it went a little past that.
Yeah, 30 minutes after, I think.
Right? Yeah. So it went pretty long. But anyways, whatever. It was still like an interesting card for sure. Sorry, guys. There's a couple other comments. Glad to have you here, Ghost. Watched the card with my mom. She loved it. That's awesome. That's sick, man. I used to watch fights with my mom. I don't watch them with her anymore, but we used to watch them. It was a nice experience. The prelims were sick, right? For the most part, right? What's your guys' opinion? How do you think Umar? I mean, we'll talk about this, but yeah, I think Umar is a clear favorite of Merab, and Figgy, I think Merab's favorite over him. So I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. Yeah. Do it, Chewies. Can you do it?
Chewies.
Texter Sean's mental. We'll talk about him in a second. I think Sean's torn labrum. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, he looked off, obviously, in the fight. He just kept getting taken down. Couldn't get back up. Craig, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. Ribovic Zelhuber was sick. If you choose the next Sphere card, who would you be your main card? I said this before. Like, I think they should have went with like some massive name, like a Brock Lesnar, lure him out of retirement, GSP, Khabib, Conor. Even I mean, Conor's a flake at this point, but the other fighters, Marcel, you pay them enough money. Even Jones or Stipe made more sense, I think, on this card. Although we're going to see it in 2 months, hopefully, cross fingers. Rob's going to do anything before Umar. He seems like it.
The thing is with the Sphere, man. I mean, they don't have to do it, especially for Mexicans. You can do it also for the US or for Brazil. You know what I mean? So
it was cool that they did everything, but at the same time, it never really made total sense to me that it was like this. The No J card got the Sphere compared to like other cards, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I think Dana's going to learn from this. They'll do it even better next time, hopefully. And yeah, I mean, hopefully they make a stronger card. I also say this, like they put all these Mexican fighters on that. Our picks weren't great. I went 4-6. I think you went 2-8, right? You had a rough one.
Yeah, you don't have to tell that.
No, it's okay. I was under 500 too. I sucked. Like I couldn't get.
This is my worst picks ever. My worst card was like I think 3 and 8 or something, and now it's 2.
I had 1 and I think 10 once. I was at Strickland and was it Strickland Uriah Hall, that fight. I only got that fight right. I got every feeling wrong. That was like Brian Barberino lost to like what's that guy's name? Jason Witt on that card and some other upsets. I was like, what the hell? So I got everything wrong. It was horrible. So I know how you feel. But yeah, it was a rough night, man. My picks were shit. So because some of these like some of them were obviously go either way, Marcel, but like even the confident ones, didn't go so well. But let's
to be honest, I went 2-8, but even that Ronaldo Rodriguez Osborne, where I got that is one of my 2.
Yeah.
Well, so
I thought he won, but yeah, it was competitive. All right, let's get into the card now. Let's start at the top, work our way down. Merab defeats O'Malley by unanimous decision. I had it 49-46. I gave Sean the last round. How did you have it?
Same, man. I don't see why Sean should get the third round based on the knee and a kick in the last 15-20 seconds, Yeah, for me it was clear 4-1. I gave Sean the last round as well because of the body kick, and then Merab was like kind of running away, but made sense, was holding on all the time. But
no, that's what I think too. So I think we're on the same page on that one. Yeah, I mean, Merab did what he had to do. Like, it wasn't the most exciting fight, but he did everything he had to do to win the fight. And the guy is a great fighter. He's won 11 straight fights. Yeah. I think he's 13 though. I think that fight was really weird at the end. He should have won the decision. And then the Saints fight, he got robbed in that fight. I don't know how he lost that fight. So
even Frankie said that after the fight, he's like, I don't know how I won.
I don't know either. But yeah, Merab's a really good fighter. Not the most exciting guy, Marcel. 11 wins, 10 by decision. So doesn't really finish people. The only guy he finished was Marias in the fight where he almost got finished. But again, he's effective. He's a great grappler. I just think that this will probably be his only title win. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I just think Umar stylistically matches up so well with him because he's just as good, if not better, of a grappler potentially. And he's got the cardio as well. We saw, and his striking's better, and he's younger. So to me, there's just like everything going his way in that fight. And then with O'Malley, like disappointing loss. Obviously, I definitely had some sort of injury, I would imagine, but still like just could not get up. And even here's the thing, like that really bothered me was like even on the feet, like he had chances to like throw volume and didn't do it. It was really weird. It was just a bad performance by him, I think. So his worst performance, I think, is his worst performance in the UFC because at least with the Vera fight, the first one he got hurt, so you could give him a pass. But this was just a poor performance by him, and he's still obviously one of the top guys in the division. I think they could do him and Cheeto, or not Cheeto, Corey Sandhagen. I'd like to see that fight. Marcel, I don't know about you. That's actually what Scott mentioned in chat. I think it makes sense.
It's the first. I think it's the first one everybody was thinking about, right?
Fun fight.
Yeah.
So that's what I would think. But he'll probably take some time off, I would imagine, too.
Yeah, he said he's not going to come back until 9 months or a year. He said.
So there's tons of matchups for O'Malley. Like, it's almost better he lost the belt in a way because it's like there's more exciting fights for him. Like, there aren't title fights. There's just a lot of good fights for him at 135. Like, there's so many. Like, he could fight Aldo. He could fight. What's his name? Mario Batista if he beats Aldo, right?
It's his teammate.
Oh, they're teammates. Fuck, they're right. Good call. There's actually a few guys at that camp, right? Who else is there? McGee. Who else?
Carla Phillips. Carla Phillips.
Carla Phillips. Yeah. So those guys won't fight. Good call. I forgot about that for a sec, but yeah. Good afternoon. Hey man, what's up? Yeah, they definitely have to go back. I agree. Tim Welch yelling at Merab. Yeah, that was interesting. O'Malley. Oh yeah, Cejudo too. I mean, that's. I don't know. Have they trained together at all? I don't know. Probably not.
Cejudo's at fight ready, right?
So, yeah. They'll fight. So. Yeah, there'd be a good fight. But I think Corey makes the most sense, personally.
Yeah, for me too.
And then from Merab Umar, right? So anything else you want to say about this?
About the fight or about the next match?
I
mean, the fight was pretty straightforward, right? I mean, Merab won 4 rounds, in my opinion, against from Sean. So, yeah, I mean, he did well. He did what he had to do. And the thing was, like, after that, he got the post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. I knew he was going to mention Umar, and I knew that Merab didn't want to talk about it because Georgians and Russians just don't go together, So Merab really doesn't like him. Yeah, Merab had the same problem with Piotr Jan, right? So,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, honestly, I should have put more stock into that fight because it was a common opponent. And, I mean, I think I did score for Jan, but I thought it was a closer fight than like a lot of people say it's a robbery. I don't think so. That fight, Jan and O'Malley, but regardless, like that fight's neither here nor there. But it did kind of lay the blueprint that you could take the guy down. So yeah, I mean, you know what, Marcel, I'll be honest with you. This is one of those fights where my initial thought when the fight first got announced was Merab, but then as the time went on, I'm like, I think Sean can get it. So
exactly the same.
You too, eh? Yeah. So it happens sometimes where like our initial thought changes over time, and I think that I got swayed by the size and the youth and everything. But again, he just take on defense was 62%. It was always in the back of my mind. And and it didn't go too well. So
the problem for me was like I felt like Merab had to close in on Sean to get those takedowns, and I was like, do you know with Merab, he takes you down, but he needs like Brazilian takedowns in a fight, you know. And every time he gets a takedown, I was like, Sean has a chance to touch him, you know. And I think at a certain moment Sean would, but after 1 or 2 rounds, you knew was not going to happen, you know. And the only time that you was like, oh, at the 5th round when he touched him in the body with the kick, you know. But Merab is just super tough, and he deserved the win, and he deserved the title shot already earlier, actually. So let me ask you, Adam. So Sean gets the title shot after Petr Yan. You know, in my opinion, not the right decision, but whatever, he won the fight. Gets Aljo. Aljo came off a title fight against Henry Cejudo like 2 months before that. Didn't get a lot of time in between. Sean got almost a year. You know, fights Aljo, defeats him, TKO. Early stoppage, maybe. Don't want to take too much into that, but got the second round TKO. Then has to defend his title. Should fight Merab, but gets Farah because he fought Farah before. He lost that fight. He gets a rematch. Nobody needs that fight to see that fight. He wins that fight. And now he loses to Merab. Where do you put Sean O'Malley's title reign in the UFC? I want to know that.
I mean, he only had 1 title defense against Cheeto.
And not even, in my opinion, that's not even. We'll do this. He shouldn't be there.
No, exactly. It was a great performance. I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, Cheeto's, you know, a guy that. I mean, we just know how he fights. Like, he just stands there, gets tagged up a lot, and then it just didn't work in that fight. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what they do with him. He might take some time off. I heard him say that. But all right, let's go to the next fight here. Valentina Shevchenko against Alexa Grasso. Valentina just dominates this fight. 50-45, I think I had. Pretty sure everyone did. 8 takedowns. How much control time? 16 minutes. How much did Merab have? Merab at 10. So Valentina had even more than Merab. Yeah, I mean, dominant performance. A terrible outing by Grasso. I think Marcel just kind of going for these arm bars and stuff off her back. Just could not get up off the ground. Again, I don't know. Like, did she not train her takedown defense at all? It didn't seem like she did. By the way, Merab went just really quick. Merab went 6 for 15 in takedowns, which is much better than 6 for 50, I think, against Yan. And in this fight, Valentina went 8 for 12. So she had 75% of her takedowns landed. Too easy. Anyways, what do you want to say?
I felt like this was the Alexa Grasso we saw in the strawweight division who couldn't defend the takedown, you know? Yeah. That's what I felt like. And the moment Valentina had her on the ground, she pretty much won the round, you know? Although Alexa had her in the 4th round, although Valentina said it wasn't like a good choke or whatever, but still it looked pretty good. But yeah, man, I mean, I cannot listen. A lot of people are blaming Valentina for boring performance. I can't blame her, man. I mean, in her mind, she got robbed in the last fight, you know, and in her mind, she didn't want to fight at the Nazi UFC card anymore in the Mexican card, you know. She still took the fight, and I'm pretty sure. Listen, man, I cannot speak for Valentina, but in my mind, I think she was like, "Listen, I'm going to fight this fight. I'm going to make it like almost a 0 error." Thing that they cannot give it to Alexa anyway, you know. They 100% have to score this for me.
Completely
so
agreed.
Yeah, that's how I think it happened. So
yeah, I mean, and the hole was there, right, in Alexa's game. She just could not stop the takedown. So, and not only that, but she almost like let Valentina do it. And maybe it was a good game plan because it seemed like her best path was to get a lucky submission, like kind of like the 4th fight.
Yeah.
They fought 3 times. Do you have any interest in a 4th fight or
no? No, okay, right now not. I mean,
maybe down the road, but I'm not too interested either.
I mean, Shevchenko can do the exact same thing next time.
Yeah,
you know,
why
at
would
this
we
moment,
see it again, right? We don't need to. Because the truth is, the first fight she was winning and got caught, and got spin. In the second fight, I think I did score for Valentina slightly, but we had the draw. It was a close fight, though, right? So again, I don't really regret this pick, Marcel, at all.
Me neither.
Just because I thought that Alexa could get it done again, but she didn't. So good for Valentina. And Valentina, yeah, I agree with you, Matthew. Sorry, guys. There's so many comments. It's hard to forget them all, talk about everything, but I completely agree with this.
I almost never regret a pick. I mean, I don't get my dick chopped off or something, if I got a wrong pick. It is what it is, Can only do so well.
She fought smart. I mean, I agree with JP. She fought smart. Yeah, Valentina's going to fight, but no, I don't know if the odds are out. They might have come out.
I don't know why people are even like, how do you say that, the UFC or other, who should Valentina fight next? I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious, right?
Yeah, I don't. don't see the odds. They might have come out and I missed them, but I mean, I think Valentina would be favored, but not by much. Like I don't think it'd be by too much. But Manon is good, man.
I would say maybe minus 185.
You think even that high? I kind of feel like people would bet the plus money. I think that she'll be like, well, I think she'll be like minus 130 or something, plus 110. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. And it might have come. I'm gonna check Twitter because I don't want to.
You saw these odds earlier today for Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, by the way.
I saw them like the other day, but it was like Oliveira's a pretty big favorite, right?
No, man. I bet online or something had like Michael Chandler as minus 120.
No, that's not
180. I don't know.
That's not right, Marcel. It's the other way. I've seen them though. They've been out for a few days.
I'll show you the picture.
All right.
It's actually in James's Discord. So
it must be a mistake because I
yeah,
saw
probably.
If you got plus money on Oliveira, I mean that's a good bet. I'm seeing if there is odds for Shevchenko.
Yeah, like Zach says. You see.
That US. Well, I've seen them have some bad lines before, but it's just a mistake. I don't know if they would let you actually take the bet, but maybe.
I think a lot of people will jump on that.
Yeah, I know, right? They might just cancel the bets. Anyways, okay, let's go to the next fight here. Diego Lopez defeats Brian Ortega decision. Yeah, first round almost finished him, almost knocked him out, almost had him out of there, but went for that submission. Tried to prove a point, I think. But either way, Marcel, I mean, obviously a solid performance by Diego and over a tough guy. He moved up 10 spots in the rankings.
Yeah.
They actually fixed the rankings up for the most part, although I still think that it's kind of weird that I'm pretty sure he's above Evloev now, right? Yeah. See, I don't know about that.
Why is Ortega under Jair while he beat Jair?
Dude, I don't know about that either. And at least they did fix Allen and Evloev because they were switched for a while. These rankings are very weird. I mean, it's almost like what the voters wanted to see happen in these fights, not what actually happened. Like, we just saw these fights.
I think there should be somebody overlooking these, overlooking the whole ranking panel, And when you see like somebody is slacking or doesn't change the shit, fuck off, out of here.
This doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I don't get it. So I think that
it's the same thing with
AI, like Dana said.
Bro, it's the same thing with fucking Bellator, where it was a ranking panelist. It's like a guy who is like number 9 beats number 2. And then you get the update, and he is still number 2, and the other guy's number 5. It doesn't make fucking sense, man. There are some people slacking, who still don't change it. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, we've talked about this many times. They never fixed it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the fight. I mean, solid performance. Obviously, I think Volkanovski's a great fight for him. Although for some reason everyone's saying Volkanovski's going to fight the winner of Max Topuria. Like, why though? Why doesn't he have to get another win? I think he should have to get another win.
Because he's a former and a dominant champ, and he deserves an immediate rematch. So I don't mind it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't mind it. And I think, Diego Lopez has so many options in the top of the division, in my opinion. He could fight the winner of Sterling Evloev, for example.
He could fight Jair too.
He can fight Jair too. Yeah, for sure. So you got a lot of
main event in Mexico. They could easily do that.
Did you saw that clip from that weirdo who was talking shit to Ortega when he left the kid? He was like screaming to him like. Tracy, good thing Tracy left you or something, and Ortega wanted to go after him, and then the security stopped him. I was like, dude, he went back to the mother of his children, and I mean, how is he losing in life? You know what I mean? So
that's pretty stupid, and I agree completely. Anyways, I'm with you, but Ortega, I think he's going to move to 155. I think that was the one he said.
Yeah, he said that before the fight, actually.
So there's so many fun fights for him, right?
I still think he's pretty legit. Only his chin has something to do. He still has a chin, because he went through that first round, but he got knocked down, man, by Lopez. And I was like, the only thing that I felt kind of sad in this fight was like, I would have hoped to see a little bit more of ground game. It was a lot of striking, and I mean, I wanted to see, because Diego, great BJJ guy. Same goes for Ortega, obviously. So that was the only thing. But man, great performance for Lopez.
I think Diego slowed down a little bit in round 3 again, which is something to keep in mind going forward. But
still knocked him down.
He goes so hard in the first 2 rounds, especially that first round, that it's understandable. But anyways, I mean, I'm just thinking with Ortega at 55, it just opens up a lot of his possibilities. Like he could. I'm not saying these fights would go well for him by any means, but he could fight Poirier, he could fight Gaethje, he could fight Dan Hooker, he could fight Chandler, he could fight any of these guys, really. So there's a lot of good fights for him at 55. it's actually very interesting. I'd imagine he keeps getting big slots, but yeah, I mean the guy's tough as hell, but he's got to make a move, and I don't blame him. I think he has a hard weight cut to make this weight. I think it's hard for him. So
I thought you said something else, but okay.
Oh, my bad. I don't think I did.
No, you didn't.
Ferguson, I hope not. I mean, that's the thing, though. He has taken a lot of headshots, right, Marcel? Like he gets hit a lot, so it's a worry. John Silva, John Silva's great, and the thing is, when guys like Ortega do get bumped out of the rankings because they're going to change divisions, it's good for the rest of the division because then you have these younger up and coming guys like John Silva moving up potentially in the top 15 where they. I mean, I don't know. Actually, John Silva did beat Judober. It was at lightweight, though, I want to say. Yeah. So, I don't think that impacts the – I mean, I don't even know if it should or not. We don't even know how they do the rankings. But all right, let's go back to the card. Fight of the night, one of the best fights of the year for sure. Esteban Ribovics defeat Denzel Hooper split decision. I had it for Ribovics. Did you think the right guy won?
Yeah, I didn't mind. I think it was a close fight, and I think Ribovic did enough to win the fight. It was an amazing fight, man, and I think it was the toughness of Zal Huber that it didn't went to a finish because that dude had like a fucking iron chin, man. It was crazy.
Do you think the ref should have stopped the fight?
I don't know, man. I mean, there was another fight where I think the fight should have been stopped, but this one wasn't the one, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I think that the third round they could have. I thought it was a 10-8 round, honestly. I know he got dropped at the beginning of the round. I get that. But the rest of the round was just so dominant. Marcel landed like almost 100 strikes. So, to me, that was about as close, finishing guy multiple times as you can get. Anyways, I thought Ribovics won. It was a close fight. But the first two rounds, I think all three judges had different scorecards, which is always interesting. But I think Ribovics just landed the harder shots. And that's why he got the win. So I think, especially after that third round, it's hard. And I know that the other two rounds shouldn't matter, right? But it'd be kind of hard to raise Zal Huber's hand after that. Although for me, I think I had Zal Huber first round, then Ribovics second, third. I think that's how I scored it. But all three judges had different scorecards.
Yeah, it was fucking close, man. Definitely first two rounds. So
yeah, they were close. It was a close fight. It was very close. But yeah, I think the right guy won. Fight of the night. You know what's funny though? Dana White's like, so we just did a $22 million gate, and then it's like $50,000 for these guys. Like, come on. Like, I mean, I'm hopeful Dana gave him a little bit Marcel money in the back, but this should have been a $100,000 bonus by easily. Just it would have been the right thing to do. Anyway, they probably got something in the back. But yeah, Ribovics exciting, man. And again, not a ranked guy, but closing in on the top 15 and another guy that's a fun addition. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Brian Ortega and Ribovics would be a fun fight too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I think they have Ortega a little bit higher on the.
I'm sure they do. I'm just saying it'd be fun,
Yeah, over definitely. Yeah.
Anyways, this should be good.
What about Ortega versus Gamrot?
Sure. I mean, any of those fights are good, man. That's why I don't mind the weight class switch for him because it just opens up a lot of possibilities. All right, next fight here we had Ronaldo Rodriguez against Ode Osborne, and I was one of the people that were like, "Why is this opening the main card? This shouldn't open the main card." I was 100% wrong. This fight was awesome. Everything about it was great. I thought it was an awesome fight. It kind of flew under the radar because some of the other fights. There was a nice stretch of fights here. I think it was like 6 straight fights where it was fucking awesome, Marcel. And you're like, wow, this card's amazing. And then, again, it kind of got a little slow at the end. But this fight was good. In the first round, I thought O'Day was going to finish him, dude. And I know you did too.
I think he did.
Bro, I think he hit his head on the ground and woke up. Is that what you think?
I think he did, man. I think Ronaldo Rodriguez might be fortunate that it was not the UFC, because I really feel
if that was an Apex card, it might have been stopped right there.
For sure. And Herb Dean didn't have his greatest night again. So, I mean...
that was Toyoni.
Toyoni sucks anyway. So, but, I mean, it in my opinion, could have been stopped, maybe should have been stopped. And I felt like even in the choke, he was out, man, in the second thing. So I feel like, they kind of got robbed, man. But yeah, at the same time, Rodriguez came back and he won the second round. And the third round was up for grabs, but Rodriguez won the last part of the third round, in my opinion, and then he won the fight. The only thing that bothered me were the scorecards, where you give the 10-8 round. 2 judges gave a 10-8 round in the round 2 to Rodriguez. Where's the 10-8 round for Osborne in the first round?
I completely agree. I actually had a 10-9, and then 10-9. I had it for Rodriguez. Close fight. I think it came down to like the last minute of the fight, really, where he got the takedown, was in top control, was landing strikes.
It was super close.
If he just held control, I wouldn't have scored for him, but he did land strikes. It did swing it to him a little bit. But again, this was a close fight. It could have been a split. I could have seen a judge having it the other way. I don't think that would have been crazy. But yeah, See, that's the thing. So, in my opinion, like the 10-8 rounds were a little odd on this card because, like, for instance, Mike Bell had 10-8 in the Ortega fight. I don't know about that. There was no knock. He didn't drop him. He didn't hurt him, but he didn't drop him. Like, and it wasn't like a sustained beating as much as like a Rubovics and Zellhuber. Then you had the 10-8 round only for Rodriguez, where I think you should have had it for probably Osborne too in that case, right? So the 10-8 rounds were a little odd in this card. Anyways, I think the right guy won. But yeah, fun fight. And I don't know if it gets him in the rankings. I don't think Osborne's ranked by any means, but it's a fun fight. I wouldn't cut O'Day. I know he's lost 3 straight. I wouldn't cut him. I would keep him around or so. We got Glenn in the chat. Glenn, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
I wouldn't cut him either. I think he's an exciting guy. And this was a big card for him. And I think he kind of lived up to the moment. You know, he had good performance. Both guys had a good performance, right, Marcel, at the press conference compared to the other boring answers. It was terrible, right?
I laughed so hard, man, about to do it with this. Yeah, put that out.
He's like, joking. Yeah. I like this dance too when he came into the octagon, the lazy boy. He's pretty good, man. 17-2. He's a young guy, but yeah, I mean, clearly he's got some holes in his game, and he's got to address them. But he was the only Mexican-born fighter to win on this card, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, Rosas is born in America. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, they did terrible in this card. It was like honestly. Strickland and Duplessis, that card where all the Canadians lost. I don't think any Canadian won in that card. Might be wrong. Maybe. No, Jillian Robertson won. Jillian won. Yeah, who's the other girl?
Jasmine, man. What do you call?
Oh, Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine. Jesus. And then Alden lost. I remember now. I remember what happened. Yeah. So the 2 girls won, and then the rest of the guys got destroyed.
I think Brazil did the best on this card. I think they got 3 wins. You know.
They did good.
Yeah, I like what Anakin says, man. I like that matchup, Anakin says.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun fight. Sure. Lima's pretty good. Merab's on. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. No. Jasmine destroyed. It was her destroying Priscilla Cachoeira in Toronto.
No, he means Yasmin Horegi.
Oh, Yasmin Horegi. Yeah, we'll talk about her in a sec. Holy shit. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's go through the other prelims, though, quickly, and then we'll get to that fight. Norma Dumont, great performance against Serena Aldana. Bro, I don't know why we picked Aldana. It looks so bad. She looks so bad, bro. Her striking defense is as bad as it gets. She doesn't move her head at all. And again, I looked at her stats, guys. In her last 3 fights, Marcel, she ate 159 significant strikes, 204 against Carol Rosa, and then 142 against Amanda. So, like, if you look at her strikes, oh man, she's absorbing 6.5 significant strikes a minute. That is crazy. Like, that is so crazy. So, I think, dude, she might be like honestly, she got lucky against Carol Rosa to get that decision. It was close. Bro, she might be a good fade, Aldana, especially that cut. My God, that was bad. But as bad as it gets. Like, her face was split in half. Dude, they should have stopped that fight.
She had 3 cuts, man. She had one here.
I know, that one there, that line.
That was horrible, yeah.
Bro, that was the worst I've ever seen, I think, honestly. Marcel, do you think that I think it was a head clash, wasn't it? Do you think that they should have looked at the replay then? Like,
I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe if you look back at it, you know, maybe. But yeah, I mean, if you see that cut, you wonder why it wasn't stopped. Did you see Zhang Li's shocked face?
No, I didn't see her face, but I think the fight should have been stopped. I really do. There was no point. She was just eating damage.
Also, by the way, gotta give big props to Norma Dumont, man, because I was like, Irene is gonna box her up probably.
Whoa, she looked good.
Yeah, she was actually counter-striking her a lot, but she did so well, man. She was the better striker of the 2. I never expected that, to be honest.
I didn't expect it either. Because I did think it'd be a stand-up fight, but I thought Aldana was going to be the one, like, just kickboxing her, like, basically to a decision.
Let's not forget, man, Norma has now committed to 135, and she made weight twice in a row. Too. You know, yeah. So, yeah, good for her, man.
Bro, she looks great at this weight class. Like, I think that, you know, she needs another win or 2, but she's close to getting a title shot. The only problem with her is, again, no finishing power. 8 wins, all decisions. So it kind of limits her a bit, but she's in a division with no contenders. So she just needs probably one more win, I would think, actually. Yes, I do, Marcus. I think one more win. I think she'd have to beat. Well, I'm assuming Harrison or Vieira, I guess, if she wins, will get the title shot. And then, yeah, I mean, there's some other, you know, contenders she could fight, but even like she could fight Macy Chasson. They did fight, right? I think.
Yeah, maybe Holly Holm.
Yeah, I think Holly Holm too, but I think they
tried to do slow, that fight. Right?
Yeah, but they could do the rematch with Chasson. It was a close fight. It was a split.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
They could for a title shot because I think Macy's up there too, and Macy finishes girls. So yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Norman Hawley does make sense though. It's not, and it's a fight they've tried to do in the past. Oh yeah, the RoboCop fight was bad too, and there's also that fight with what's that famous fight, Marcel?
Marvin Eastman against Vito Belfort.
Yeah. Jesus.
Like the X cut.
It's bad. Refs and judges are the worst aspect of the sport. Yeah, they mostly suck. I do think the judges did a good job on this card, but they suck. Let's be honest. Ignacio Bahamondes just destroys Manuel Torres. What a beating! Marcel drops him twice. Manuel just got fucked up in this fight. Wow, what a performance by Ignacio. Obviously gets a bonus.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Great win for him, man. I mean, the thing is, like, I was kind of a little bit off the Bahamondes hype train after his loss to Ludovic Klein, and and he showed that he got better. He's training a lot with Bilal as well. But there wasn't the ground game this year. There was the striking. He looked really good, man. He looked really sharp. And the thing with Torres is kind of the guy who always brings the heat, but it's by him is killed or be killed. And this time it was killed, and or it was. Yeah, killed and not kill.
Yeah,
he got killed. So I mean, he'll bounce back probably. But the thing is, like, he left a lot of openings, man, for Bahamondes, and Bahamondes just too technical to not capitalize on it. So good for him, man. Happy for him. Good win, and good for him.
Sorry about that. I like just went out.
Adam didn't pay his electric bill this week, so
sorry about that. I clicked the off button with my foot by accident, but. Yeah, no, it was a great finish. Yeah, that'd be a good fight, Alvarez. All these fights, Alvarez is fun. You guys got a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
Manuel Project. I don't know. I mean, Das was pretty good, man. Like, I don't think Project here, but he definitely showed that he needs work to do. And he did get tagged in some of his other fights with like Nicholas Mata. Remember, he got tagged pretty hard in that fight too. So, he's got to watch his striking defense. But yeah, I mean, Agdasso just had a great performance, I think, personally. This guy's asking about his brother.
Yeah, his brother is only 16, I think, right?
Yeah, he's 17, they said.
17, okay.
I haven't checked, though. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Contender Series. I mean, makes sense, right? Not this year, probably, but maybe next year,
They even mentioned that. I mean, he said that his name's Albert.
Albert, but TH, yeah.
Let me take a look at this guy. By the way, we have our boy Georgie in the chat. Georgie.
Congrats, Georgie.
There you go, another Georgian champion. Crazy, man.
Two champions. Crazy.
My God. And you still got Roman Delize who's kicking some ass too. So you got a few guys. Imagine Roman ends up winning the belt Marcel too. That would be crazy. But yeah, no, it says he's 16. The journalist said he was 17 that was interviewed by Dana. I don't know. I mean, get him on a 17 contender, right? They got Rosas. Why don't they get this guy? All right. Big upset here. Ketlin Souza.
Bro.
Clubs and subs. Jasmine Uregi. Again, Jasmine getting knocked down, Marcel. Again, bad chin. 3 knockdowns in the UFC against. Remember, like, Denise Gomes destroyed her, but also Estela Nunes hurt her too, Marcel.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bro, she's not that good, is she?
I think she makes mistakes by trading with Brazilian girls who hit hard for some reason. She should stay on the outside, in my opinion. Listen, man, I'm not a fucking fighter. I'm a fat slut, but at the same time, I feel like if she keeps a distance and she keeps it technical, she wins a lot of those fights. But she got lured into those striking exchanges. And you saw that wasn't a good idea with Denise Gomez. With Estela Nunes, she came back. And with Sousa, was pretty much the only thing Sousa could do here, in my opinion, was like trying to knock her head off. And she got the opportunity, and she did it. So good for Ketlin Sousa. Makes you think how good Marnik Man is. But I mean, but at the same time, the really bad loss, man, for Horegi, to be honest.
Yeah, but dude, the way she spelled blood and went for that choke was nice. Like,
yeah. Beautiful.
And you know what, Ketlin Souza? Okay, listen, this was a fight that she was supposed to lose. Like, let's be honest. They did not want her to win.
No.
If you look at her record, she's been knocked out before a couple times. So they thought Yasmin was going to knock her out. And
of course.
It didn't turn out that way. If you do look at the stats, and what I was watching in the fight was Yasmin was doing what I thought, right? She was outlanding her. She was outboxing her. But then they both landed this, like, kick to the cooter, Marcel.
the cunt punt, huh?
I didn't want to say it, but there you go. They both had one, and the second one, like, she made some like noise, and it seemed like it did kind of affect her. And as soon as that happened, she just wasn't able to get back in the rhythm and got caught right away. So I'm not saying that if that didn't happen, she wouldn't have lost because again, her chin doesn't look very good. But I did think she was outlanding her the fight was kind of going like I thought. But again, too willing to stand trade with these powerful girls like Denise Gomes and Souza.
It's like the younger versions and smaller versions of Jessica Andrade, with the power they have. And
I don't want to stand with these girls. And that's the problem too with girls like Jasmine is that,
that's what Larry says as well.
She's a stand-up fighter. She's not really a grappler, right? So the problem with her is you have to sweat the judges in a lot of her fights too because they're going to be on the feet, and you have to sweat her chin. So she's just someone that you want to fade, I think. I mean, I'm sure they'll try to give her an easy fight. They'll probably do her and Marnie McMahon next, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. The UFC wants to keep her around. I think Jasmine.
They like her, but she's not that good, dude. Honestly, she's a busted prospect in my opinion.
But by the way,
she's lost multiple times now. It's not just this is the first time. Go ahead.
To reply to JP Taylor, Jasmine must have busted so many parlays. Yeah. I learned something from Edmund Shabazian's brother, Leon Shabazian. Never put your money on women fights.
A lot of people say that, but at the same time, right. And actually, you know what? I went 0-3 on this card, so I can't say anything on the women's fights. I'm actually decent at picking the women's fights, but not on this card. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
it wasn't my best card. I mean, I don't see too many people having a great night. But if you did, congrats, because there's a lot of landmines on this card, including potentially the next guy. He came back and won, but Josh Van Marcel defeats Edgar Chavez. First round.
You were sweating him, dude, in the first round.
I was. I'm like, Marcel had a great pick with Chavez.
Yeah, you said it in the Discord.
I thought Van looked like shit in the first round, but again, he does that in a lot of his fights. And then, he came back strong in the second round. All those body shots in the third round, gets the. Actually, it was close. It was a close fight, but again, it's kind of like the Osborne Rodriguez fight where he gets like some late takedowns and gets some ground and pound and it kind of gets in the win. But yeah, I mean, obviously Van 4-1, 22 years old still, so he's still young, man.
Bro.
He's still improving, but yeah.
Nobody said something about it, but the moment Van was unloading on, that sounds really bad, by the way, but he was punching up Chirez. Chirez did that spinning thing or whatever, but he was holding the cage, man, at the same time. He did it. Nobody was mentioning that.
I saw it. I was like, oh, they're not gonna call that, I guess. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, he great. It's a great win here. Chirez is 1-2-1 in the UFC, but I think he's pretty good, including contender 1-3-1. But I still think he's a decent fighter.
I mean, he lost to Van and he lost to Tyra. I mean, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. And then opening up the card, Raul Rosas Jr. defeats a Richie Lang decision. This was a pretty close fight, man. The second round, obviously, I think Richie Lang clearly won the second round.
Yeah.
And then third round, Rosas got the takedowns. I do think Rosas was kind of like saving his energy for the third round. But dude, I see a lot of holes in his game in this fight. I saw a lot of holes in his game. His striking defense is really bad, dude.
He's still very young. The only thing that kind of worries me is that he really thinks already about being a champion soon, and I don't see that happening soon. I think he can be at a certain moment, but I think there's still a lot of growth to go. And I feel like a lot of people telling him like you can be that youngest champion ever. And I'm like, you don't have to like hurry, you can work to the top and go ahead what you're doing now. I think it was a smart game plan from him in the third round to take him down and keep him there. He won 1-3. I was kind of bothered during the fight because of the sounds. I had to take my headphones off, by the way. The corner sound was so hard during that fight from Rosas' corner that it was like I had a Mexican screaming in my right ear the whole damn time. And it was also the second fight with Chirez against Van. The sound issues were pretty terrible if you were listening with a headphone on. So I didn't use my headphone the whole damn time. By the way, I'm completely going off at the fight. I'm sorry. But I thought it was a smart game plan by Rosas the third round. But it was, if he didn't get him to the ground, he might have was in trouble maybe,
I agree. It was more competitive than -1,000, I would say.
Yeah.
Anyways, overall, we talked about this already. It was an okay card. There were some great fights. There was a nice stretch of fights, but I kind of feel like still the last couple of fights, to be honest, I've gotten more excited as we've gone down the card, as we've talked about these fights. It kind of went like the fight. It started off not that good, but then it kind of went like this, and then just kind of went like that. I think a little bit. So it's what it is. But that's it for UFC 306. A couple other things we want to talk about with you guys. Okay, Contender Series, which we didn't get a chance to. We'll recap it. Really, we'll recap it first from last week. Let me pull it up. I can't remember.
I remember the fights.
You remember them?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot them already. Pretty bad, isn't it? Okay, no. So Sterling won the main event. I remember that guy won.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that he got the contract, right?
Yeah, he has a UFC fight against Tuco Tokos, right? So
yeah, at Tampa.
Try and get him a win there. He's going to be like minus 500, I would think, in that fight, right? Something like that.
Yeah, you think?
I think so. One sec, let me pull it up. Okay, so yeah, he gets the contract. I think it'll be a huge favorite, Marcel.
Okay.
Your boy Yusri Belgari does not get a contract. What do you think of that?
Listen, man, was it impressive? I don't think it was impressive. You know, he was, and then Dana's like, "You're minus 1100." I don't give a shit about that. The thing is, like, you give contracts to a lot lesser fighters on the Contender Series. You know, I know you're gonna nitpick. I was like, come on, dude. You know, was like he had something personal against him. Also, like, I think Kevin Aioli asked him afterwards on the press, what did you like him about him? He said nothing. I was like, come on, dude. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. I definitely give you that. He unloaded only in the third round. You know, he was very hesitant to do anything, I felt. Although he was still winning the first 2 rounds, but he was hesitant, and he had those eye pokes. And I mean, obviously, Dana didn't want any concurrence for John Jones, so I understand that. But at the same time, I felt like he gave less fighters a contract. You know what I mean? But
sure,
it's his decision, right?
They could have given the guy one, but yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too impressed. And then also you had Josias Musasa gets a deal, split decision. I think we both thought he won a close fight. I don't mind him getting a deal just because I think he has potential.
Yeah, but I have a problem with this one. Why he gave the reason he gave, you know?
Yeah, because he's Ali's client.
He's Usman's guy, and he's managed by Ali, and I think he's going the right way. I was like, dude, listen, man, I have nothing against anybody, but at the same time, that's not a reason to give somebody a contract. You know, just say how it is. You thought he did. He actually said he didn't win. He could have easily said, "I thought he won," you know. But he said, "I didn't win." But we want to go to Africa next year, and we want to have African fighters on the card. So this is perfect, and I think this guy can develop into a real good fighter. That's the only thing he should have said, and I would have been like, "Yeah, okay, I understand." And at the same time, I thought he won as well. You know, I had him 2-1 against Tenzilovi, I think is his name. So yeah,
they changed his name. They added an I to the end.
Yeah,
and also we had Nicole Cagliari defeats Corinne Laframboise. Canadian, the raspberry, right, Marcel? Is that what it is? The raspberry?
That's raspberry in English, yeah.
Matt Girl should have probably not been on the show, to be honest with you. But Cagliari looks okay. I mean, she has an interesting ground game, obviously, with a nasty submission. But, you know, some not the great for in some holes I saw in her game, but we'll see. I mean, I'm okay with the contracts they gave out. And then obviously had the fight that got canceled. The Otani guy, the guy who beat Pereira, had like anxiety or something pulled out.
So Cody Steele gets another shot at the show. That was so weird, man. I think they said like Cody's gonna get another shot, you know, and then Dana's like, let's bring him in here. So it's like, your fight fell through, so we're gonna give you obviously another one, or we're gonna bring you in. He said, and I was like, oh, they give him a contract, so you get another shot at the Contender Series. It's like, dude, just give the guy a fucking prelim fight in the UFC. You know, why does he have to make weight again? He did what he had to do. His opponent didn't do what he had to do. Why doing so difficult? You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything. Sorry, guys, there's a couple of comments. There's a lot of comments today. I'm trying to get as much, but we want to be mindful of time because we do have Contender in a bit. Ceiling behind Mondays is, I don't know. It's hard to say because he already lost to Klein and McDessie, which I thought he could have won that fight, but Klein's really good too, though, you know, so maybe that's not that bad of a loss.
I thought he won against McDessie, if I can remember correctly. So
I think he got cut or something, and it just like it didn't look good to the judges. I think I can't.
It's
remember.
Like the Alkins Landwehr one, you know.
Yeah, it's very similar. Oh yeah, Lee Lambert. So that fight's not happening, right?
No, Landwehr apparently pulled. So Hubbard is waiting for a opponent. I don't know why do not Hubbard against Ruffy. You know,
sure.
Both guys are waiting.
Fight, right? Yeah. Who is Ruffy supposed to fight first?
No idea either. Okay. No idea.
Maybe will Pantoja come back? I don't know. Probably the last pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, makes sense. Probably co-main
event. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's do Bellator, or actually, we'll do the new Contender Series, Marcel. How about that? We'll preview it really quick.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just give you your quick thoughts on the fight. I'm going to pull it up because honestly, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's go through the odds really quick, Marcel. Some of these fights are pretty closely aligned. You have Elijah Smith in the main event here. That's Gilbert Smith's son, former UFC fighter. Taking on Aaron Tao. I think Tao opened as the favorite. Now the line's flipped. Smith's favorite. I guess I would pick Smith. What do you think?
I think so too, man. Can be the second father-son fighters in the UFC after Randy and Ryan Couture, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Arthur Lopez and Talishin Teixeira. Teixeira guy's minus 1,000. He's huge too, so
yeah, that Arthur Lopez guy, his nickname is John Jones.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. That's funny.
Yeah. I'm also picking the Talishin guy. I think Dana hopes the other guy wins, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Benjamin Bennett against Joey Hart. Hart's an underdog plus 100. You like him?
I think Joey Hart here. I think this is one of the closer fights on the card. This one.
Me too. It's a pick 'em, but yeah, he's a small underdog. Then you have Atiba Gauthier and Yura Nato. This is a pick 'em. Gauthier guy's a bit younger. He could be like the Musasa guy from last week, a little bit of untapped potential, maybe. We'll see. I mean, this fight's close too. I was kind of leaning him though a little bit. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm also leaning towards him, and if he wins, he probably gets contract because they need the African fighters. Doesn't he train in Birmingham? I think with Leon's team, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then we have a pair of returning vets, Ahmad
Hassanzada.
Hassanzada, thank you. Against Dylan Mantella. I lean the Hassanzada guy.
Yeah, me too. I think he lost to Nazim, right?
Yeah.
Last time. Yeah, I'm taking him.
Me too. All right, and then really quickly, we go to Bellator, Marcel. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yet. Did you watch any of the card or not?
No.
I watched the main card. Sarah Collins looks legit, man. She had a great finish over Liam McCourt, and she's young, she's undefeated. Bellator might have something with her. Like, I think they said that she's getting Cyborg. Is that right? She's fighting Cyborg?
I have no idea, dude. I really have no idea. I haven't followed it, to be honest.
I don't think Cyborg would want to fight this girl. I mean, not saying she'd duck her, but like, why would she? If she only has like 2 or 3 fights left, why is she fighting Sarah Collins? It doesn't make sense. But they do have the nice prospect here. CM Powell had a really good fight with this guy, Rafael Javier Marcel. I don't know if you saw that fight. It was a really good fight. Great fight. Luke Trainer got a win. Mark Diaz had a decision-based win. Yeah, I think it was like almost all chalk one on this card, which is most Bellator cards are. So just want to throw that out there really quick. Take a few more questions for 5 minutes, Marcel. I know some people have some questions. Can you read them? Can you see the questions?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we got some here. Do you guys have some questions? Throw them in. I apologize. I know I missed some earlier, but
do you thought that was Do you thought that was analphabetic that you asked me if I could read the questions?
No, I just wasn't sure if you could actually see the comments like I can.
I can see them.
Okay, cool. If you guys want to throw some out, we'll answer. I know you guys did. I didn't try to miss them, but here we go, Marcel.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it's just a comment. I don't know. Cyborg's an underdog in that fight, which kind of surprised me. You know, she's older, but what? Not surprised?
Of course, I'm surprised.
I don't know about Pacheco being favored in that fight. She's good, but yeah.
She's okay.
She's a lot younger. You guys know of Artem Bakatov? He's the guy who beat Alex in kickboxing?
Yeah, he's on week 10 or week 9, I think.
Yeah. You guys had headlines December pay-per-view. I think it's going to be Bilal Shavkat.
That's pretty much the only option, I think, man.
So, is it? And then you could have Petosian versus...
Yeah, but that's not going to headline, you know?
Is he going to fight Kaya Sakura?
I think it will be Asakura, yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm just looking at division. Or could he fight Kai Car-France?
I don't know, but I think it's Asakura. The UFC wants Asakura. It's been discussed for many cards already, so why wouldn't they change it now?
Fair enough. I mean, the only other option really is Drakus, but I think he'll probably get booked for next year in South Africa. Although Weili Zhang, what the hell happened to her, man? She's there at the fights, but where is she?
No idea.
Weird that they haven't booked the fight with Tatiana. Marshall's picking Smith. We're both picking Smith.
Yeah, but not convinced or whatever. I think it's too close.
They're prospects.
Yeah. Asakura's pretty good, dude. Remove limit break. Yeah,
he's good, but he does have some losses, and he hasn't fought UFC level yet. So I don't know. Like Ryzen's obviously a good promotion. I don't think he deserves a title shot personally, guys. Like I think that Car-France knocking out Usyk is more of a title shot worthy personally, but yeah, it's gonna. It seems like it'll be that guy. No, we don't see so. We don't see it. That happening anytime soon. Do you guys think Suarez? I don't know what's going on with that fight. I really don't know who's hurt. Talon Smith, Hart Bennett. Yeah, we both picked Smith.
Smith and Hart.
Yeah, his title shot. Yeah, no, I agree. A couple more comments, guys, and we'll get out of here. We're gonna do a quick. Actually, no, Marcel, we can just end it. We'll do the fight announcements really quickly, so then you can get out of here. The top main event: Sonya Dong and Henry Cejudo is the rumor. Is that the rumor?
That's a rumor, but if they're gonna do that, I have no idea. But I think they want to have Song on them as the main event, probably. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe him, and you could even do him and Cheeto again, the rematch. That would make sense.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They probably will do that, but I'm not too bothered with it, to be honest.
Yeah, but that seems like the fight they'll do, to be honest with you. Now that I think about it, it'd be hard to get Henry on.
The fight night card in China, yeah.
By the way, appreciate that, man. Thank you. We usually do it Sundays, or Mondays, and this week I just wasn't feeling it, but I'm glad we ended up doing the show. Blake, I missed your question. Glad to have you here, man. Arthur Lopez got a call because look at his nickname, dude.
Yeah, look at his nickname. Yeah.
Anyway, it was like, holy shit. You must have loved it, eh?
Yeah, for sure. He had like a huge cucumber under his burrow, probably.
I know.
Yeah. That's what I should say.
All right, cool. Let's end this one, guys. We'll do a fight announcements, okay? I'll tweet it out. Appreciate you guys joining us and join us for the next one. If not, we'll be back next week. We'll preview UFC pairs, but yeah, we'll do a fight announcement.